right? You have to first define where you're going to, then so that anywhere you get to will not look like it because you're sure where you're going to. So ground rules,
Right.
what are your shop floor rules? For example, in retail, so what are your shop floor rules? So for example, someone who's doing food is saying, one of our rules at shop floor is do not talk to a do not get into the kitchen without covering your head. That's a ground rule, right? Or you know what? Do not talk to people if you don't have your tags on, so that if you say the wrong things, they can always track you. And I see that all the time. Every time the policeman is acting really to you, you find out that you can't even find his name tag in case you need to report him, right? So that's our ground rule. So I like to say ground rules can be broken into three categories: your shop floor rules, rules in your company, like in when you're working, right? So if it was engineering, it'd be like say where your overalls while you're on site. Then you have your management rules. Your management rules are things like what are those things that is a rule for management. So for example, no meeting must be have you can't have any meeting without you having a what you call it now, minutes of the meeting. Don't start a meeting without a minute of the last meeting. And don't end any meeting without you having resolutions from that meeting. That's a rule, right? Then you can have like another rule, say, okay, every quarter we do retreat, or every month we do appraisals, or every year we do board meeting. That's a rule, right? And you can also have rules like we will not pay you salary, we will not pay you later than the 30th of every month, right? So that's a rule. So I think the first thing is to have your core values, your big audacious goals. The second one is to define your ground rules for your company, broken down to shop floor rules, productivity rules, and management rules. And then lastly, if you ask me, it's basically to define what type of people you need in your team and also as customers. I call them avatar. So you've got to say, what is the ideal avatar for my customer? What type of customer do I want to have? Because yes, why Nigeria act like you want all type of customers? Some customers give headache. So when you say, look, I don't want this type of customers. Like a Benz, for example, is not doing low-end cars because they don't want that type of mass market. That's a rule. So you're not going to see you're just not going to see certain type of things with certain type of brand, right? So there's a reason why the iPhone hasn't made some certain type of cars, some type of phones, or Tesla hasn't made certain type of cars, right? So I think those things are key. What's your avatar for your company in employees and in customers?